Welcome to our video series, Canal Days, and thanks for joining us for today's episode of the Streets of Holyoke, Massachusetts. I'm your host, Carrie, here with my co-host, local historian and creator of the historical tours of Greater Holyoke, Robert Camus. As your personal tour guide, Robert will lead you through some of the most iconic sites and their legends of historic significance throughout New England's preeminent and pivotal state of Massachusetts. With his expert insights, every monument and memorial story comes to life. Afterwards, don't forget to check out his website, holyokecanaltour.org, to access the full Canal Days video and podcast series, and also check out his free in-person public tours he offers throughout Western Mass, and the 2025 schedule for these special events. You can also book personalized private tours for groups of all sizes tailored to your interests. To discover that and much more, remember to log on to holyokecanaltour.org. So, Robert, can you analyze and clarify the street patterns within Holyoke and why they were made that way?
Yes. If you go into the lowest four wards, or look at it by neighborhoods, downtown, Churchill, South Holyoke, and the flats, they're all in gridded pattern. They're made that way because it's a planned industrial city, this Holyoke. And they made them parallel to the canal system. And then the crossing streets perpendicular to such. And so you have a planned out city in grids. Now, a lot of planned cities are in grids, of course, but this was an industrial one. And so it's filled up with mills, with tenement homes or worker homes, and then the upper streets like High Street, Maple, and Chestnut have a lot of institutions on them because you have to be near the government building, City Hall and High Street, and you have to be near the worker homes and the mill owner homes. And so there's lots of churches on those three streets, and lots of stores. And so thus it's a very nicely made out city. Now, the upper part, anything past Northampton Street, is all randomly made. Those are the old farm roads, or carriage roads, and so it's not as much of a pattern. Between Sycamore, say, upwards to Northampton Street, you'll still have some pattern because Sergeant Franklin, the east and west streets still go up in that pattern, and you have a lot of cross streets that are perpendicular. But it's not a perfect grid anymore, but it's very close. The alleyways go up as far as beyond Holyoke High School, beyond the Stop and Shop, so they go up quite far. And of course, every street down here has an alleyway to it.
And can you also name some of the most historic street within Holyoke and its attributes?
Probably at this point, and for the last 125 years, it's been High Street, the first 5 blocks of which are National Register entry. Lots of historic buildings there, about 100 of them to give you a number, and a lot of retail, a lot of institutions are there, and of course City Halls and the Caledonia are on that street. Before 1900, it was actually a competition between 2 streets, and that would either be Northampton Street or Main Street, with Dwight Street being a close third to those. But the character of Holyoke has changed so drastically since that High Street is now. So we're going to walk around and then ride one of the streets. Why? Because my favorite street is Chestnut Street. Okay, what does Chestnut Street have to offer? It has the Holyoke Public Library. It has the Masonic Temple to the side. It has the Lawrence School. It used to have Perpetual Help Church there until 1998 when it burned. And it has the Episcopal Church of Holyoke here. All of them are quite nice looking churches and schools and libraries. And the whole neighborhood around Chestnut Street is nice. The upper portion of Chestnut has the back of Sacred Heart. The lower portion of Chestnut has the St. Jerome side. It has the St. Jerome School. It also has, very near the Monte della Rosa, it has Veterans Park. This one has the Library Park, which is a very big park all on its own. And so there's a lot to offer around the way. And so for all those reasons, this is my favorite street. It's epitome of the streets of Holyoke. It's one of the gridded streets. It's also one of the streets that have a lot of houses on it, a lot of institutions, including religious institutions. And I went to school for 4 years on this street at the Holyoke Catholic High School. Now, I probably ridden up or down this street maybe 10,000 times in my life because I used to work in the upper part of Holyoke, and so I got used to this street. But when I was young, of course, I was able to go to school on this lower part. And what we're going to do now is drive along a place. So what we're going to do now is go towards the northern end of Chestnut Street. We're passing the Essex House on the left, which is being rehabbed as we speak. And we're passing a new creation, which is made by Wayfinders. It's a set of apartments that includes the old Providence School of Nursing, and then the Carlson and Randolph and a new building in this place. And then as we get closer to the next corner, on this street right here, we would have found an old Methodist Episcopal church at the right-hand corner here. It's gone, sadly. Now, on the left-hand side is one of my entries in the house in Holyoke. It's the Holyoke Day Nursery, over about 110 years old at this point. That is incredible for a nursery. Next corner, Suffolk Street, we have the Victory Theater, which is being rehabbed also as we speak. We also have the Holyoke Savings Bank, and very close at hand are other spectacular buildings around. Right on our left-hand side is the side of the Holyoke Post Office. 90 years old this year. It has a beautiful mural in there of Holyoke's history. Okay, and I like this street because you got this former St. Jerome's Church and School, which became the Notre Dame School first, and then it turned into Holyoke Catholic High School, and now it's residential. And then on the right, you got Veterans Memorial Park, where they have memorials to 4 different wars. I'm trying to get a 5th war memorialized there because there is a stone memorial already exists. It's in storage. I want it into this park. Okay, and then upwards you can see at the next corner the St. Jerome's Church, the oldest Catholic church in Holyoke itself, still in fabulous shape, and is still active. And on the other side is, of course, the Rectory of St. Jerome's. A couple more lengths of street to go. And on this length of street, we find the William Whiting School, which replaced the Chestnut Street School. That's on our right. But on our left is a beautiful Shaker home from about, I would say, about 1860. Gorgeous. Now, the only reason this next block, and it's the last one in Chestnut, is important is because by its absence, it used to be a whole very loved place. It was taken down about 1969 for urban renewal. And at that point, this neighborhood lost a lot of its love. And of course, the Mount Honorable Church was nearby. At the very end is the Pope John Paul II Educational and Social Center. Okay, so that's my favorite street by far in Holyoke, and it's epitome of a lot of the greatest streets. And thank you